Hey everyone, it's Pete. We're back. Dream Warriors 97. This is going to be like two back to back episodes, most likely released on Friday, the September 14th. Filled with updates, analysis on movies, comics, pop culture, TV, streaming, Netflix. It goes on and on, on and on. And now sports, because we have a weekly NFL pro football conversation episode. And this is all building into the 31 Days of Dread, where we here at Dream Warriors, because we're insane, we do horror movies, one a day for the entire month of October. Now, you already hear that music. Let's just hit that music. Let's just hit it. We gotta hit that music. If the music doesn't play, I don't start. So let's get to the music, and I'll be right back. Yeah, so for anyone that's not familiar with Dream Warriors, this is a long-form conversation pop culture show. And I'm Peter, I'm your host, and my goal is to get good at this. Because I don't think I'm good. I think I stink. Oh, God. It's, like when you get the idea to continue something like this, because, again, if you go back to episode 1, which I encourage everyone, if you get into Dream Warrior, start with episode 1 and just start taking notes and send me any love on a trend of improvement or notable conversations and things like that. And it might take you a couple weeks to do that, but please do it. But no. It started with my buddy Norm, who, just life happens and things, and even interest wanes. We started the podcast. He jumped ship, and I set sailed. I maintained course. The podcast art form, the type of media it creates, it was something I was absorbing for years going into Dream Warriors. And I just saw an opportunity to, I guess, almost like bite the belt and take it on the behind, because that's a little bit how I feel. It's difficult maintaining it while improving the quality of everything around it, promoting it, and just getting good at it, because I kind of knew at that time. Now, look, I'm not taking anything away from any contributor. Mark, Chris, Norm, my sister, my brother-in-law, Sean, and kind of even people who tried to come in, or who tried to do a guest appearance, because I'll try and hit people up for different reasons, if they're into wrestling or pro football, so on and so forth, or if they're really knowledgeable about like a series of movies and or a TV show. Anything that I'm not even plugged into, I want to sit down with that person and have fun, have a great conversation, and dissect really what they're into, and so sometimes I guess a psychoanalysis, a little bit of that, because that's the glory of conversations to me, is it's poking around with that little needle, and you kind of find things sometimes. So, and I don't even realize where that is until I go back and I listen to some of the episodes, and I'm just like, oh wow, that was like a truly nuanced point. But no, so everything with Dream Warriors is thought around being long form. Now, the reason and why I define it as long form, and why it's important that we look at it as long form, because when it comes to pop culture criticism, we're dealing with 10 minutes or less, meaning that I'm not saying that other reviewers in the past didn't do 10-minute written reviews, meaning you could read them in under 10 minutes, but they actually took hours and hours to write. So maybe you could read it in 4 minutes or 3 minutes. It took hours. And sometimes between seeing the movie and publication, it was a week and change. The reason why I'm saying that is because I view the thoughtfulness and the the insightful aspects when it comes to film review, which is the layers of nuance applied to you, the audience, from someone like me, the reviewer. At one point, I think nuance and thought was built into the process of producing reviews. And then the modern age happens. The internet creeps up, and holy kaboli. Everything's a blog post. We got Tumblr, we got Twitter, and hey, movies came and went with preconceived notions of quality off of 140 characters or less. I think now it's up to 240, right? Twitter added an extra 100 characters. Thank you, Twitter. Maybe. Not really sure. And then, the blog culture. And then stepping through the other side of the door. Because there's two doors to this house that I'm describing. Is YouTube. And YouTube came in. And look, people brilliantly access that platform for film review. I think right now that is the future. But what kind of happened, and I'm not saying there's not reviewers on YouTube that don't do 30-minute plus discussions, but I don't know. Like I think when it comes to analysis, thought, even letting it sit for a little, which is very important because making videos is nothing but stressful. I think this is a little bit easier, and do I dare say it's more fun? Do I dare say that? But yeah, I dare to dream, my dear friends. I dare to dream. But yeah, so yeah, so we're here. We're a lot of episodes in. We got more coming. I have an entire list of movies to get to talk about on my phone, and I try and do one movie per episode. Now, on top of all of this, I do also do mobile episodes through Anchor. Now, Anchor, I'm in the process of adding my catch-up tracks to Anchor, so Anchor has the entire battery, the entire catalog. So Anchor would be like one or two normal, like we'll say full-length episodes. Dream Warriors Proper, Dream Warriors Prime. I like Prime. That gets released, and then I could be walking around in Philly, taking a break, even between meetings, and because your boy Peter here has a 9 to 5. I could be between like all these things and do a mobile update and jump back into it. And sometimes that is super useful because it gets it fires up the brain it's in a different mode. And when you're it's tough. Like meetings are, you gotta go into meetings with a objective, and sometimes when that's not being met, you don't feel accomplished. But doing a mobile sode between things makes you feel accomplished, and it actually helps. It helps the meeting. So I encourage everyone to just start things and see what happens and see where it goes. But yeah, so yeah, that's like your Dream Warriors like definition. We're anti YouTube, even though I'm creeping things like this onto YouTube. I'd rather just put these conversations that I have with my Dream Warriors right up on the YouTube. And I did start that. So the first football episode is available, and it was so frustrating going through with that because the audio, there was just something coming in with the equipment that I couldn't pinpoint. I wanted John and I to at least get started because we're kind of like, we see football, I believe, the same way. The industry of football, the nature of what's happening between the games, we'll say. We agree, but there's if you drill into the layers, we don't. And I literally get excited knowing that I can sit down with him and like actually document what would otherwise be text threads. And again, like that goes back to like the importance of just starting something, because we put so much effort of ourselves into social media with no reward, which is beyond me. It's hard for me to put effort into things, even thought, uh, without documenting it, because I want validation. I kind of want people to know. Like maybe it's a little bit of one of my complexes, but I like people to know I have thoughts and I have feelings, and there's things inside of me that I have to express. And yeah, I feel like I've been working my entire life, tooth and nail, day and night, a lot for 40 years going on now. Find it to discover new ways to express myself, and that pretty much started with artwork and drawing comics. Which, hey, if you follow me on Instagram at AKAPAD13, uh, you can see, I mean, daily artwork updates, daily artwork commentary on my IG story. Uh, I mentioned this before, but if we're going to just go through some of the social media, still doing a theme a day, with some breaks here and there, on Snapchat. If you're familiar with Comics Gate, you have to follow me on Twitter. It's a movement that's happening within the comic book industry right now, that is professionals and amateurs, and now amateur professionals, or we'll just call them new professionals, that are going against the establishment to save comics. And oh my God, is that hyperverly? I can't even say that. Hyperverly. I should look that up so I can say it. Is that me boasting? Is that me, blowing hot air? It's not. I followed comics for my entire life. I know the industry in details that are probably unhealthy. Have I read comics my entire life? I would say no. Have I read Watchmen my entire life? Yes. And by my entire life, I mean, when I got into it, which was probably around 10. I would say 10 is when I got serious about comic books. Yeah, so you can always find me on social media platforms. Anything that I'm throwing at you that you're not like bolting down, and if it's not registering, you can find it at akapad.com. You will get the newest episodes of Dream Warriors. Hopefully soon, access to the mobile episodes, like right on the homepage, and of course the YouTube stuff and the IGTV, which I do like almost like sit down topic discussions that aren't done here. And a lot of that too is just to cross pollinate some of the ideas, some of the thoughts, and to even round out some of my thoughts. Again, going back to the importance of long form conversations, and it is dangerous. It's a dangerous rope that you're balancing yourself on. It's a tight rope, because when you're constantly putting your opinion out, and it's not really your opinion, it's almost like there's something inside of you that it's like a puppet that like you're the speaker for that. It's really not you. When you have precepts in your life, and there's ideologies that you subscribe to and methodologies that you adhere to, and principles that you believe dictate the Western world, I'll say, which is the really the only way of life to pursue. The more you talk about something, you kind of go circular, and I try and prevent that. I try and solidify what my beliefs are. I'm constantly tweaking my methodologies. I seek challenge. I seek new ideas and new thought. Like I would say, sometimes aggressively. It depends on my company, cause every like today everything is politics, like everything. And that's probably one of the reasons why we were having content issues across the board. Probably like the next two mountains for that to climb is it is of course NFL, but it's like I guess it's TV, and I don't know Henry Cavill's Witcher. Is it Witcher or Watcher? I think it's Witcher. His Netflix series that it looks like he left the role of Superman for. Bravo, dude! Bravo to him because DC was just dicking around. Uh, when I say DC, I mean Warner Brothers. I think that part of the back and forth came from a appearance of him in Shazam, like a cameo. Watch, I the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was not built off of cameos. Everyone goes back and they're like, "Do you remember when Tony Stark was in Incredible Hulk? Do you remember when Black Widow was in Iron Man 2?" Of course I do. Black Widow was a legit character in Iron Man 2. The Tony Stark pop in, we'll say, was a complete waste because it's like it was a throwaway line about the Avengers, which later we got Dallas over here. What's up, buddy? But yeah, and it was a complete throwaway line, and by that I mean it didn't come to fruition because by the time Iron Man 2 comes out, right, it's like the psych test, and he's being kind of right. He gets rejected to be a part of the Avengers, and then he's magically a part of the Avengers in the Avengers movie. So part of my contention is that the Marvel Cinematic Universe truly solidified with Thor, Captain America, and the Avengers. And guess what? I mean, outside of Nick Fury at the end of Captain America, which at that point they knew where they were going. They kind of knew what the direction was. Uh, the Captain America Nick Fury end credit scene in the MCU is the birth of the MCU, uh, leading right into the Avengers. The crest of the wave crashed on the shore with Avengers. It's not Iron Man 1, 2. It's not the Incredible Hulk. Even though hey, some of the Tony Stark or the Stark Industries logo and blueprints and other like military equipment was cool to see in the Incredible Hulk. But again, that was not a Marvel run movie. That's why it's just recently was on IMAX with the super long marathon, the 10th anniversary marathon that was days, which was kind of cool. I wish I popped in to at least see Iron Man again on the big screen. But yeah, Hulk was the first time on IMAX with that lineup, and that was a little bit of a surprise. So, no, give me 1 second here. Dal, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? One moment, please. Dal. Psst, psst. Ah. I was trying to give Dallas a treat there. He's been so, I went away on a Ocean City, Maryland trip, and he really has not been the same since I returned. And confession time, the person that was supposed to feed him actually did not, and I didn't get wind of that till later. And I'm still a little bit like upset at that person because I have no idea. I kind of left with the directions of he's good until like later Saturday, early Sunday, Saturday preferable. But I don't want to take away people's Saturdays, but he would survive until Sunday. So what happened was he didn't get food again, I mean, look, given he's got plenty of hard food, plenty of water, but he really didn't get. And I think a lot of it too is more or less the visitor and the contact, because he just loves people so much. He loves like visitors. He greets everyone. He's almost like a dog. But yeah, not until Monday morning, and I couldn't hit the roof because it's still someone doing a favor for you, uh, and the damage is already done. And I'm just out in OCMD, just like having fun. But anyway, so a little bit of an interruption there, a little bit of a break. But yeah, so if we get back to it, the Marvel Cinematic Universe birthed with the Avengers wholeheartedly. So when it comes to Warner Brothers and what they're trying to do with these cameos, look, it was kind of cool announcing Ben Affleck as Batman, the long anticipation for BVS, but then having him pop into Suicide Squad, and you're embedding him with that Joker mythology, with the brand new Joker and the new Harley Quinn, and it did seem exciting. It did seem fun. Them connected, like I kind of like a lot of them were like through the Dark Knight, in Suicide Squad. I think that kind of fit the tone of Suicide Squad. That definitely fit with what Schneider was doing with BVS, and then we had the fall of the DCEU with the stripping of the Zack Schneider version of the Justice League movie. So to bring you up to speed on that, look, I'm not an insider. I can only do two things. I can know what's reported. I can know what's rumored and I can look at the finished product, and that's it. Like, that's as far as my reach goes. I think that reach is 99% of the people that speak of film. By the way, I think some people come off as true insiders, and they just have a way of they just have a way of like faking it and not being genuine. And this is furthered. It's furthered by the idea that if they same with public school teachers, like if they had a scorecard, you may not have your job. And these guys are the exact same thing. I've been longing to have a Dream Warrior scorecard of the incorrect and the correct calls that we make here on the show. I would love to like have that as a established feature on the AKAPAD website on the Dream Warriors tab. Like could I get to that? Yes. Or could I at least start documenting it? 100%. I kind of should. And just talking about it does fire me up, because I want to be judged on my analysis, on my technical analysis. I want to be judged on how well I'm reading things and how well I'm piecing it together, if at all. Like, if it is something worthy of piecing together or seeing together. But no. So a lot of these people, they put these ideas out there to bring up to speed with Justice League and Jack Snyder. For the record, like a long supporter, lover, fanboy of Zachy Boy. I look, people. He came on the scene in the remake of Dawn of the Dead. Totally delivered with that. Delivered with 300. 300 being one of the best straight up adaptations of a comic. Next to like The Crow, American Splendor, maybe being the other two I would kind of put in the top of the top category. Like maybe the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. If you're going to make a top 5 list, and now I need a fifth one. Maybe Tank Girl, maybe like just when it comes like it felt like the comic. Maybe Ghost World, probably Ghost World. So okay, and so he goes from 300, and I'm pretty sure he does Sucker Punch, and people just lose their mind on that movie. They label it a huge disappointment. because and I get it, because the girl doesn't have any stakes because it's all somewhat like a fantasy. She's living a fantasy. Could that be packaged and delivered a certain way, or was it more of a like anthology driven movie that needed to have stakes? I would say yes to like all of that. But visually and just look, I mean, there's been so many times where I kind of had people over and I got music going and I got Sucker Punch just running on the TV with no sound. And so many times people are like, they sit down and they just start staring at it. They're like, "What is this?" And I'm like, and I kind of tell them a little bit what I'm telling you now. So, and I'm going from memory, but it's like Sucker Punch, and then it goes to the Guardians of Gahul. He did like an owl animated movie, which led to no. I think no. Then he did Watchmen, and then he did the animated movie. So he does Watchmen, perfect adaptation. Yeah, I have to put Watchmen in the top adaptations ever. I don't think Watchmen can be topped when it comes to just epic adaptations. He went so hard into that movie. We really haven't seen it since. Because he did understand the material, and you can see there was a true love of the material with Zack Snyder. Watchmen 2 is a movie I continuously watch. Amazon Prime now has the Ultimate Cut, and holy, that is mind blowing with the Black Freighter rolled into it. It is incredible, and it definitely feels. It has the DNA of the comic weaved through it, in layout, in like the placement of the scenes, and in tone. The art direction's incredible. The shots are like from the page, and that's not easy. It's not, because like you're combining multiple visions, including your own as a filmmaker. It gets confusing. So then he does the Owl movie, and then the Owl movie. At that point, Christopher Nolan from Batman was running the Superman movie. Him and his wife, I believe, Christopher Nolan has a wife producer, and Zack Snyder also has a wife producer. So that's kind of cool. But they met like on an airplane, on the flight on the way to Vegas for the movie theater show convention to sell the movies to theater chains, and they were pitched the idea to take over Superman. I'm not even sure if it was called Man of Steel yet at that time. And Zack Snyder comes in and makes an American classic off of an American pulp hero. With Cavill exiting Superman, I think people feel the hurt. Like they feel the hurt of what Snyder set up. Now, excuse me. So, a part of Snyder's vision for, and he can come on this show at any time and correct me. But a part of his vision for the character, and I'm just telling you what I'm reading, people. But his vision was he needed the world to doubt the intention of the character. So now, like, we're within the context of what he built. And Superman needed to prove himself in a cynical world. And this is evident. This is clear as day in BVS, where the media is such a strong character. I wish there was more media in BVS to hit home these points. I wish the movie began as that. I wish Justice League further began with media coverage. I think what he established in BVS, I don't know if it's in what they call the Snyder Cut, because he was pushed. He was pushed out of that movie, and Josh Whedon came in and just hacked it. I believe, like really put little character in that movie. So, starting with, so we don't know what his plans were for Superman 2. It could have been some of the Doomsday stuff. It could have been more with Lex Luthor. It could have been like a straight up side adventure. I don't know. We'll never know. But if you consider Man of Steel, Justice League, and BVS, somewhat as of a Superman-driven trilogy, it's the rise, the fall, and the return of a hero. But the second time it happens, the hero is welcomed. He is begged to return. He is there's a longing for him, and there's a need. Now, the internet destroyed the point of Man of Steel because they actually hooked in on on a meaningless piece of that movie. And I say meaningless because it truly is meaningless. The fight of Metropolis at the end with Superman and Zod, where they destroyed the city. And there's just a lot of people that are just convinced he would never do that. Like he would save people. Well, I don't like who. I don't know. I mean, he just like became Superman. Like the whole thing's new to him. I don't like what's your first day on the job like? It's a freaking horror show. You're lucky you get a day too. Uh, the character is not defined on how to handle that. But throughout the movie, we see that he has, uh, shout out to the movie Election, but he's got morals and ethics throughout Man of Steel, which again rises, crests, and crashes onto the shore of him realizing that, and in the moment kills Zod. Justified within the character that was presented to us at that point, still within Superman, because I always felt like if he killed, he would kill once, and I got that feeling in Man of Steel, like this is the one time, but he knows to never cross the line again. And we have the opposite with the Dark Knight and BVS, and that's another point that people just they're cherry picking, and they're not making concessions, and they're not putting themselves into the movie. They're already sitting down with like ideas about what they would like to see, and getting upset when they don't see it. But yeah, so the internet comes in and completely rips apart that BVS. I mean that Man of Steel scene, which I think is one of the best fight scenes. Like, oh my god, it's one of the best fight scenes. I sometimes I'll just put that on and go right to it. I don't care. I think it's the destruction. Even like when they're fighting in the town, and just the way that shot, like very David Lean, like Kansas sprawling shots, like beautiful. Because Zach, my boy, is a visionary. He's a true visionary of filmmaking. No one wants to. People just want to say he's like a version of Michael Bay or something. But hey, guess what? On Dream Warriors 2, we acknowledge Michael Bay as a visionary through and through to its truest sense. And the people who don't recognize it or respond to it, you're not really talking about the movie. Then you're talking about yourself, and it's on you. It's not on the movie, it's on you. So I just have a feeling that the need for the Man of Steel to return in Justice League was robbed, because I'm not saying Steppenwolf. Potentially. I guess like Snyder, we know he had a dark side scene, so who knows? Like Steppenwolf could have had more of a setup that just didn't end up on the current cut of the movie. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Could Steppenwolf be better? Yeah. Was there an idea to make him more lethal that was retracted because the movie was too dark, which is dark in tone and theme and intent? Was it not Marvel Cinematic Universe enough? Well, we kind of know that's the studio was done with the monochromatic sepia tones of Snyder, and whatever. That's, hey, they're the ones paying, whatever. But they kind of had faith. Like a part of the heartbreaking part of this is that they had faith in him, and then they didn't back their guy, and they they withdrew their support in the 0 hour, which at that point you gotta sleep in your bed. So like the point I'm getting at is, I guess what's flowing out here is, like, was Steppenwolf designed at one point to be lethal, to be destructive, to the point that he could not be stopped. Okay? In Justice League. And he was taking lives. And, when he had the mother boxes, it was a true danger. Like, nothing they were throwing at him was stopping him. Okay? And this includes the Justice League outside Superman. Creating a need and a want and a desire and a like almost like an understanding of the return. That's kind of cool. Like, we all know if it's there. I almost feel like he would want that to be exactly like that. And I'm kind of like conflating a little bit here, but I just feel like he would want that. I feel like my boy Zach would be into that. And the backlash of the final scene in Man of Steel was like, well, you gotta tone it down. People don't like it. And he's like, okay, let me tone it down, but I'm creating a 3-movie arc. Potentially like even 4, like even the Superman references and Suicide Squad. But we're building this return, this idea, which potentially, the return of Superman in Justice League is probably the greatest that we've seen yet. Because I think there's more of this stuff to come, but it's the greatest movie origin of all time. There's few. I mean, the one I would kind of see, like, because it's the arrival, like it's the unraveling and the peeling of everything. It's to the arrival. Now, I think they've the original, I guess, well, the Nightmare on Elm Street series definitely delved into the psychological history of Freddy Krueger movie to movie that I completely love. I feel like they did this, like most horror movies do that. They spend more time dissecting the motivation of the villain or of the antagonist, the killer, the slasher, and it takes away more of the impact. But then, like, what you do from there, again, they did the same with Alien, Chucky, Puppet Master. It goes on and on. Sci-fi loves to do it. Geez, they completely unraveled Star Wars to the point where you're just like, man, okay, I'm not even sure what to think about that. But yeah, so we have Ben Affleck. He's in Suicide Squad 2. And pretty much, I believe he's gone. And then we have Cavill exiting. Even though he did a cryptic Superman, like, action figure post. Which is so funny because I know there's, like, collectors and people out there that are like, he has the cheapest Superman figure for this post, teasing something or announcing something, even though he's out. And they're saying, "Oh my God, like why doesn't he have like this statue or this figure, or like this XM, like Iron Studios, like whatever?" Because guess what? He don't care. He sent someone to like a Walgreens or some crap to buy whatever figure they could locate and give it to him. He doesn't care. He's an actor. He's not. Superman is just a job for him. So, which is exactly how you look at jobs, and why you shouldn't take a job off of a like feeling like it's a there should be no responsibility other than doing a good job for a job. You know, like there's no cultural or like impact or whatever, and I kind of like that. But he did do a cryptic post, and I don't know, maybe I will have to retract everything, you know, since we were talking about Dream Warrior predictions earlier. Hopefully, probably not, but uh, so Ben Affleck is out, Cavill's out, and I just have a feeling that because I would need to verify this, but I pretty much believe that his positioning came from he needed a movie of his own, which was, you know, Man of Steel 2. And he would continue to be the character, you know, and they would, I think at that point, they would have to dictate what he was getting because these movies are just ridiculous. But, you know, like it would be like a good agreement because you get this work, you get to be this character for a long time, and it's a character that people do care about. You know, he sells merchandise. It's a perfect storm. And but you give me my movie. Like I get it. I will help build up these other things, but I need this. So I would say like everything with his exit led to the butchering of the Snyder vision of Justice League that he spent 10 years building, that the studio didn't back. He sees a tonal change, as we see with Shazam and Aquaman. He sees a delay, and a spinning of the wheels of Flash. I just don't understand how you don't get a Flash movie going quick. Pun intended. I don't see that. So he sees a dissolving of. He see a total dissolving of the Flash Cyborg movies. He sees them launch a streaming service, and I don't understand how with that you don't have him front and center. They launched the streaming service with the comic book side. Just stupid. The streaming service should have been launched with Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot. Like you should have got the Trinity to freaking launch it. But no, we get Kevin Smith and Jim Lee and people that I don't even know and or care. Like, sorry guys, I don't care. I just don't care about you. So it's almost like his character, which should be the focal point of all of it, and he kind of really gets like shafted, and the only outlier, the only movie that goes right into production. I mean, like Wonder Woman went right into production, like right, and Man of Steel didn't. Man of Steel 2 should have went into production right when Justice League was happening. He should not even have had time to do Mission Impossible Fallout. Man of Steel 2 should have followed Justice League. They had the time. And he leaves, and like we're dealing with a broken DCEU now. Completely shattered. We have Shazam, bright, colorful. It's big. It's a superhero big movie. We have Aquaman, which is I don't know, give me back my throne underwater movie. And look, I'm not knocking it. I think James Wan is truly legit. He's one of the I mean, like, his future is riding on Aquaman because he's got to prove that he's beyond, um, you know, like modestly budgeted horror movies. Which, look, I'm all for the Conjuring universe. They really know how to get things out of that franchise. Bravo. We don't have a Flash going. Cyborg's out. Cyborg, look, they connected Cyborg to the New Gods. You can take him off Earth for a child. I mean, that movie could be part Thor movie. Like, it could be just like how Thor, the first Thor was, but we get the New Gods, which are infinitely more interesting than any Asgardian that Marvel could present. I mean, the New Gods are, I mean, I would say even the way that they evolved the Asgardians in Marvel later came from what Kirby did with the New Gods. But whatever. So it just sucks, man. Like, even just going through it now, talking to you, boy, it sucks. Yeah, it is painful that Cavill is out as the Man of Steel. The studio didn't really cave to a movie from him, and now we're like, what are the, like, what's in production? Wonder Woman 2 and Suicide Squad 2. I mean, that had to piss him off, seeing Suicide Squad get destroyed by everyone. I get it, look, it's hypocritical sometimes, but long form conversation and or not, go back and listen to the Suicide Squad episodes. I still put that movie on. I still like it, and mostly because it's like dark and it's got that hot chick in it. But because oh my god! But that movie got ripped apart by your quick YouTubers, like the short form reviews for Suicide Squad were thumbs down, no, and that goes like right into production. And I believe does it have The Rock in it too as Black Adam? Is Black Adam the villain in SS2? Potentially. But he sees them somehow stalling with The Rock. I mean, The Rock's cameo as Black Adam should have been at the end of Justice League with Deathstroke. Black Adam's the one that should have got Lex Luthor rescued. And they were Luthor being able to orchestrate it all, knowing the location of these people and who they are and what they're doing, was established in BVS with the files. I just don't know. I mean, like, I think Cavill kind of gave them rope to hang themselves, and the studio did. Now, there's conversation. Look, the internet wants Michael B. Jordan as Superman. I'm gonna have to get into that later, but yeah, it's a fall. It's 100% a crumbling. It's a cracking of the establishment, because we know Warner Brothers can do it. I mean, have you seen the Harry Potter movies? What's there, 9 of those freaking things? And now there's like spin-offs, so what are we up to, like 11, 10? Like, what? There's 10 Harry Potter movies out there? Like, no. What? He sees that. He sees a handling of something with respect, and then on the other side, he's just caught up in a mess. Like, should he be James Bond? Yeah, would we get a James Bond movie every other year, maybe every third year, with Cavill? 1,000%. 1,000%. Because I believe he's a workhorse. I just see it. Like he wants to do more. look, I just really hate to put it on the studio as clear. It's sometimes it's easier when things are gray, like because you really don't know, you really don't see it. But at the end of the day, like even at the end of this recording, Warner Brothers screwed over Zack Snyder, and they robbed Henry Cavill of potentially being easily the greatest Superman ever. And I would say he's well for it's hard to put him above Christopher Reeve for mostly Superman 1 and 2 because that's like it's a clear vision. The vision that Zack Snyder has of the Man of Steel, we haven't seen yet. We've only seen the beginning of it, like the origin, and Snyder put a lot of effort into like the world building around Superman. Like I'm not just talking about Krypton. I'm talking about the culture of the world that he was occupying, and they must have known it. And and even coming with Zack Snyder, I just don't see how you can back someone and then you're out. You're out in the red zone. And it showed that people say anyone that says that Whedon saved Justice League, you've lost your mind. You're just seeing what you want to see. You're saying what you want to say, like meaning that you're saying something just to say it because you got to. Because maybe you put yourself in a similar position than myself. you got to constantly talk about movies. But look, this is Peter signing off. This a lot of it too. This right now was a return recording because there were so many technical issues with the hardware last time that I had to cancel with John yesterday, just to sit down and be able to think I can do something decent now. And I can tell when it's recording just based on sound waves and what's happening with the hardware. But yeah, so everything should be flowing full steam ahead. I think I've fixed the issue. I really won't know until I render this file, but hopefully we're good. But look, everyone, we got so much more coming. We got NFL Week 1 coming, okay? So, and then we're going to jump into Week 2. We got Hell in the Cell on Sunday, which I can't wait for. And the 31 Days of Dread. And I am cataloging those episodes because I want each one to be at least 30 minutes this year. And on Instagram, we got Inktober coming up. Can't wait. And I'm completing material for last year's Inktober to get released. And look, it's the normal shenanigans throughout everything else. So look, everyone, I love you. Rock and roll. Inspire someone. I got to tell you guys about OCMD too. Crap. I gotta do another episode. But look, rock and roll. I love all of you. Thank you for supporting me. Subscribe. Like do all the fun stuff. Any description that you might find with this episode, there's links and information in that to support and fund original content, because that's really all that I have. And look, it's probably at zero now, but like we're building an army, people, so we're going. Dallas and I should say goodbye. Have a good day. TGIF. Oh, everyone. Hey, Peter. I'm back. We're doing Dream Warriors 97. Holy crap! Solo episode. I believe the next two will be a solo episode. Both will probably be in the shorter taste, the shorter type. But as you already know, you're kind of already hearing that music. So let's just hit it and jump back into it because we got a lot to discuss. Boom, boom, boom. Are we back? Are we back? Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How are you? How's everything? Good, good, good. Are we good? No, 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 no. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Boom. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Boom, 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 boom. Hello? Hello, hello, hello? No. Hello, 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 hello? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello.